Yo, what up, y'all? This your boy Gary Spencer. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. I wanted to make this video talking about how long it took me to get my uh, to get my recollect retro game to get back into recollecting retro games and of how long it took me to get to get as much as I have right now, and how long it took for me to build them up, and also my plan, my plans, my next plans are for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. So first off, how long did it take me? Well, I was looking back on it and thinking about it, on when I started recollecting retro games, which of course started off with Sega Genesis. Now, and why I got back into collecting retro games was because, like I said, I was rolling with the Xbox 360, and I was getting too many red rings, so I was getting frustrated and tired of it, and had to get it replaced 3 times, but it wasn't doing no good. So I decided myself, like, okay, when I get my when I like I said, when I get my money up, I'm gonna start recollecting retro games. So first thing is first. What you guys see me playing is my number one console, and that's Sega Genesis. Now, when it came to Sega Genesis, when I started recollecting Sega Genesis games, well, I didn't start off with the console. I started off, buying games on the Sega Genesis, and I also started playing them on the Sega Genesis Nomad. And why did I decide to play it on the Sega Genesis Nomad for the start? Well, because number one, yeah, back when I was living at my mom's house, I thought that, well, if I get a Sega Genesis, then I would have to try to disconnect the cable cord and try to get behind the TV. And we had like a really big ass Sony TV that was heavy, and that I almost literally smashed my finger, and I didn't want to take any chances of hurting myself. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start off, with the Sega Genesis Nomad, and I'm gonna like buy one game at a time, like on every payday that I have. So I just started buying one game at a time for the Sega Genesis. Because I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't really want to go crazy, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on a certain amount of games. And at the time, I was only working a part time job, so I didn't really have a lot of money. So it took me probably took me about from 2012 up to 2013 to get my Sega Genesis games down. Like I said, now I got a lot more Sega Genesis games than I started off with back in 2012 and 2013, because, like I said, number one, I was living in my mom's house, didn't really have a lot of space, and I was keeping my Sega Genesis games inside of a little exchange bag. Them little bags that they be giving you up at the exchange when you buy stuff, and it was starting to tear apart. So I just said, you know what, I'm probably going to chill on getting more Sega Genesis games, and I didn't really know about any more until a couple years later on. So when I was done with buying Sega Genesis games for that moment, I I moved on to another system, which was the Sega Dreamcast. Started playing that, started getting games for that. Took me about a year probably to get the Sega Dreamcast games up to where they are today. From up to 2014 to 2015. Because 20 and then up into the actually, yeah, probably maybe prior to that, maybe one more year after, because 2016 I ended up moving out. I ended up moving out of my mom's house. So I mean, total wise, it went from Sega Genesis Nomad to Dreamcast, and then I bought a PlayStation One, started getting games for that, and then I probably didn't need to, because my fiance already had a PlayStation Two. I forgot. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm buying a PlayStation One when I could have just played the PS1 games on the PS2. And then when I was done recollecting PS1 games, I started recollecting games on the buying games on PS2, and then I ended up buying a Nintendo GameCube, and I started buying games on that. And then 2018 for Christmas, my fiance bought me the NES and SNES classic minis. And then 2019 I ended 2019 I ended up buying a Sega Genesis Model 1 because my Model 3 kept on. I had to replace like a couple Model 3s because I guess they had some kind of a glitch that when I was playing the games just reset it like automatically. I'm like, what the hell? So it was just weird. So, but and then prior so with the years accounting, how long did it take me to rebuild to rebuild my retro games collection to where they are? It took me probably about 10. I would say about 10 years, at least about 10 years, because there was no way that I was gonna be going crazy, spending a lot of money, buying a lot of games, and then like I didn't have too much a whole lot of money left in the account, so I wasn't gonna do that, and that's something, like I said, that's something that somebody rich people would probably do some stuff like that, but that's not even me though. So I just wanted to just buy a little bit at a time, one or two at a time. And like I said back then, retro games was also cheap too, so it really didn't matter. So if I bought one game on a console that was cheap, I'm gonna buy another game. So that was the deal that I made for myself. So it took me about probably 10 years recollect and build up my retro game collection that I have now. Just trying to keep it together, trying to hook the room up some more, and like I said, retro games really brings back a whole lot of memories on how video games started off to be when they first came out and how great they are and why. And that's something that probably you know some people, kids nowadays probably won't understand, like, okay, how did they, about how they became so good, when they started and whatnot, because it's not their fault. It's because they just wasn't around back in a generation when retro games had started coming out and was made. So and I'm glad and it's nice that they're making many consoles out of them, because that way gives people a chance to see what they missed out on, and how video games got started to begin with, and some games that was popular, and how they got all the way up to the top. So yeah, so about 10 years it took me to recollect it, and like so and my plan is my game plan is what I have that I had on my mind is, now that I haven't that I quit my previous job, and I have a new job now, where it's a job that I really love, and also that's you know doing me a lot better, like with pay rate and whatnot. My plan is that I'm gonna get some more of those get some of the games that I recently added on my game list that I showed you guys probably a few years back. So yeah, get some more games that I have on the list, and whatever price that they are. Like, so I mean, for instance, like if they're like maybe $40 or $50 or whatnot, I'm just gonna say, what the hell, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. So it's either get it now or get it never. And then what's gonna happen is, the game sells out, or the game just rises up more, and then I'm not gonna want to get it. So that's one of my next plans is, get some more games for certain consoles, basically the PlayStation 2, and maybe Sega Genesis if I see any more. And also I would like to add and buy another console for the game room also. So I want to get a regular original Nintendo. And why is that? Is because, yeah, I know I have the mini, but there's a whole lot more games on the original Nintendo. That was that's on the original console that wasn't put on the mini. You know, and I tried to hack more games onto the system on the computer, but I couldn't get the whatchamacallit download. It wouldn't let me download it on the computer, so I just said forget it. So because there's like two boxing games that I want to get on NES. I want to get that Mike Tyson Punch Out, and I want to get this other boxing game. I think it's called like King Ring or something, whatever. But I want to get that, and there's some other games I want to get, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have what I really have in mind as far as like I said, took me 10 years to get this get my game collection up, and then like my plan is like I said I want to add another console in here and get some more games on the PlayStation 2, and maybe Genesis or even Dreamcast on whatever I see. So it's just that's my next plan on what I want to do. So it's like let's do it, let's make it happen. Let's get this. Want to get this hook get this room hooked up some more and with more games, and let's just do it. So, but that's all I really have to say. So that's all I really have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So y'all know what to do. Leave y'all's comments and thoughts down below. Click that thumbs up. Excuse me. This your boy Garrett Spencer. You guys take it easy. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, y'all, once a gamer, always a gamer. Keep on gaming, y'all. Excuse me.